I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to Ozark City Hall. We're glad you're here for the Board of Aldermen meeting and engaging with your elected officials. Listening to perspectives of city residents, business owners, and other community members helps our elected leaders make more informed decisions. Before the meeting begins, let's review our rules of order. These ensure the meeting is orderly and efficient while allowing everyone who would like to speak an opportunity to do so. There are two opportunities for you to speak: during the agenda's scheduled visitor and guest portion of the meeting and during public discussion of new bills and resolutions. During the agenda's scheduled visitor and guest portion, anyone who signed up at the city clerk's office before 5 p.m. the Wednesday before the meeting can speak to aldermen about the topic they specified. Now, in the public discussion of new bills and resolutions, that allows you to give comments for aldermen to consider before they make a decision. The consent agenda bills are not open to comment. If you want to speak about an item on the consent agenda, you must sign up by noon the Friday before the meeting. You can do that by contacting the city clerk in writing or fill out a card in the council chambers before the meeting starts. Write down the specific bill and give the card to the city clerk before the consent agenda is set. That bill will then go to a first reading, which is open to public discussion, and anyone may speak about it. Anytime anyone is speaking, the following rules apply. First, only one person should speak at a time. Please be respectful of the person speaking and hold your comments until it's your turn. Second, anyone speaking must do so from the podium and speak into the microphone. Third, you must first provide your name and address in writing to the city clerk before beginning your comments. These forms are provided near the entrance. You also must state your name and address to the Board of Aldermen using the podium microphone. Fourth, all comments should be addressed to the mayor and aldermen. Finally, all speakers have 5 minutes to make their comments. The mayor or alderman may have additional questions for speakers after their 5-minute time limit. Occasionally, the board will invite someone to make a presentation at the meeting. This is only to give information to the board about a specific topic. These presenters will have no time limit on giving their information. This meeting will be live streamed and recorded with video and audio unless there are technical difficulties. The use of cell phones or other devices is discouraged during the meeting. Please silence your phones right now. Again, thank you for being here and engaging with the City of Ozark. The meeting will begin shortly.
We have two sets of minutes we're going to look at this point in time. The first one is from February the 17th, 2026, our regular session. Are there any questions regarding this set of minutes?
Point of order. Do
Yes.
we need a roll call, Mayor?
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Yes.
Alderman Aiken.
Here.
Alderman Galloway is absent. Alderman Hutchinson.
Here.
Alderman Metcalf.
Here.
Alderman Snyder.
Here.
We have 4 aldermen present. We have a quorum.
Okay. At this time, now we'll do the minutes. We have from February 17th, 2026, we have the regular session minutes. Are there any questions regarding these set of minutes? If not, I entertain the motion that we approve these as printed.
Your Honor, I move that we approve the February 17th regular session minutes as printed.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor of voting on the motion to approve the February 17th, 2026 regular session minutes, do so by show of hands. That does carry. Our next set of minutes is from February the 19th, 2026. This was our non-legislative meeting minutes. Any questions regarding these?
Your Honor,
Yes,
I
sir.
have to abstain because I was not here for this session.
Correct. So, won't pass. Okay. Therefore, only 3 here, therefore, we'll carry these over to the next regular meeting. So we'll just go on. Okay. At this time, we do have a ceremonial matter tonight. We have from the Ozark cheer team here with us tonight and doing a proclamation on some very special achievements they have done in the last few months. So if y'all will come up front. Do I understand this mic? Where's the best place for them to stand during this part? Yeah. Are they being seen on the live stream?
They can, I can't show the whole group,
Yeah.
but I have a couple options.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure and everything and all. But again, very proud of y'all, of what y'all accomplished. And because like I said, it's tons of hard work. My girls did not do cheerleading. They did basketball, softball. I know what it takes for the parents to make this happen for you all and the time to practice and everything. And like I said, we as a city are very proud of what you've done. But I was very honored to have a proclamation for you all tonight. Okay. Whereas the Ozark High School cheer program has demonstrated sustained excellent leadership and sportsmanship at the state and national levels, whereas the Ozark Varsity Cheer is a 16-time Missouri State champion, represents the city of Ozark with distinction and competitive success, whereas the Ozark Junior Varsity Cheer team recently made program history at the National High School Cheerleading Competition in Orlando, Florida, hosted by the Universal Cheerleaders Association. Whereas competing against hundreds of teams from across the nation, the Ozark Junior Varsity team earned third place in the National D1 Junior Varsity Non-Tumbling Traditional Performance and third place in D1 Junior Varsity Non-Tumbling Game Day Performance, bringing home the first national medals in program history. And whereas the Ozark Varsity team achieved its highest national finish in program history by earning sixth place in the D1 Varsity Non-Tumbling Traditional Performance, and whereas these accomplishments reflect months of discipline, teamwork, and commitment by student athletes and the leadership of dedicated coaches, whereas the Ozark Cheer program is led by head coach Tess Keller, with varsity coaches Tess Keller, Megan Adams, Angelo Corsia, and junior varsity coach Baylor Minor, whereas the parents of these teams get a big shout out and are recognized by their tireless efforts of encouragement, financial support, and travel, getting them to where they need to be at all times. Now, therefore, as mayor of the city of Ozark, Missouri, I therefore recognize and commend the Ozark High School Cheer Program for its historic national achievements and longstanding tradition of excellence, and celebrate the athletes and the coaches for bringing pride and honor to our great city of Ozark. Again, I want to commend your coaches because what they're doing, but also your dedication. It takes time and effort. Also, thanks to parents, because again, without them, you cannot do it. Because I know they're financially supporting you, encouraging you, and being there. And plus, I know travel and all that. I remember those days, club basketball and everything. Again, not cheer, but I know what it takes, and I appreciate what you have done. And y'all, like I said, Ozark is a great city, and y'all just that's why we are, because people like you. So let's go back here for a photo op.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
This is better.
No, that's not better. Yeah. So, I know what you mean. Can you
have real freedoms now. You can say do anything you want.
Yeah.
Because
Just keep changing.
So you didn't, wasn't leaving.
Official meeting.
Okay. So maybe you just cover this.
and they've got an amp.
Yes.
And they've also got a bridge. Yep. Yep.
Put them in the book.
There wasn't a quorum for that meeting, that's what you're saying.
Okay. So that would motion.
Need to be a
No, did you email me?
Yeah, I did. But it was this afternoon.
I need to make a correction. I tried to make sure I got Eddie out of everywhere on the minutes.
It wasn't Mr. Hart.
Oh, Mr. Horning. Okay, thank you.
He was a Hart.
He does. Hey, Chris,
Hey,
can you still do the second Tuesday of the month for the administrative committee meeting? Because that would be not tomorrow, but the next. I didn't know if you would need to see if that still works or.
generally.
Okay.
Won't be able to make every month. but
Okay. Well, that one we just do this like the second Tuesday of
Second
the month.
Tuesday, and
Yeah.
that's the 9:30 meeting.
Yeah, 9:30. Okay. We'll plan on that the 10th. I'll send out a calendar invite.
Okay, I should be able to.
That works.
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to text you the morning of? Like send you a email?
No, I remember to go. That first one caught me off guard.
Okay. And
Yeah,
I didn't realize your office wasn't on the square.
No,
I mean, I didn't know you was over by
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Oh, you're good. You were. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Yeah. Well, you are human. Are you gonna send me a calendar invite? Okay.
Yeah.
no,
How are you?
I'll-
Good, good. That was my son.
I
That's
won't
John.
repeat last time.
Oh, it is.
He emailed, he responded to your email earlier today.
I saw that.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yep.
He's not even running track this year.
You really.
I know it. So we'll get out here. Thank you.
Okay, see you.
You gonna play nice?
You need a lot of information.
Yeah.
And when they were so
Secret. Secret.
First bill, been able by the developer.
good.
So I have an objection. The developer has to pay.
Good. Because, yeah,
I scared him.
Well, I'm right there with you. The same, we didn't.
No.
I mean, everything Mr. Horting said is true. I mean, that's terrible. I drive through there every single morning and it's,
Right up against that intersection.
yep.
Well, and where the
You just
houses,
roll stop at that intersection.
and
It's a-
just the houses across the street, they're all single family houses and they put up the apartments above us. I can see, if you had them back in the middle of that section of land, it would be
Yeah.
much more appropriate. And they could come out on the side street instead of the
In the
apartment.
apartment. Yeah. I guess that. See, but try to move to the other side.
Okay, that's kind of was unofficial recess, but we knew they wanted to do pictures and all. So we'll get back to our business now. And we do have a scheduled guest tonight. We have Kristen from the Show Me Christian County to give us update.
That's hard to follow, I have to say.
Okay. You have to do a cheer now.
You don't want me to do that. I was a volleyball player, so. Well, anyway, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. As always, I love to come and share some of the activities and things that we have been working on over the last several months. We always try to tie everything back to our pillars of our organization, and primarily our time in Ozark is spent on our business development and our promoting of Christian County. The other pillar is also community enhancement, but really our time is really honed in on business development because of the demand that we see here. Currently, we have 21 projects that are in the works. 14 of them are looking or are here in Ozark that are wanting to expand and also doing site development. We do see a shortage in office warehouse, light manufacturing, industrial, with companies that are already even located here that would like to stay and expand here. Just with site selection, there's a shortage that we are seeing. One of the big projects that we've been working on the last couple of months is in, of course, partnership with the City of Ozark and also SIMCOG, and that was the EDA grant. And we're happy to say that it is out the door. Hopefully I can say that. And that was a $4.1 million grant. Our team, we provided a lot of narrative and research data, information to support them. And then also there's a big economic development portion of this grant application. And so we were able to provide letters of support with our local businesses to be able to get that across the finish line. So in the promoting of Christian County, Maria is going to pull up our Explore Christian County website because I wanted to make sure that you guys have looked at this and have seen the website that Stevie created. We're very proud of this platform that she created. And again, all in-house, we created it ourselves. And it is a free resource to all of our local businesses throughout Christian County. We also, as Maria's flipping through, is created an area guide. And so this is hopefully something that we will have rack cards available for various businesses. Even our Airbnbs can use this, and because this is a live brochure that people can interact with. There's actually a Harley Davidson event convention is coming to Branson, and they allowed us to create a map where they can come through Christian County, and Stevie created it where whenever you get there, here it is right there at the top of it, there's a click on the map and it designates exactly the different stops throughout Christian County that will be partnership with the Branson CVB. So again, this is a great resource that we've created and we're very proud of it. And all of the steps that we created was in effort to become the designated marketing organization for the county. We've never had an internal DMO for Christian County that is locally managed. And so we are very proud that we got that application out the door, but this was a 2-year process to be able to even apply based on the requirements that were dictated by the state. So and this application is only available every 5 years. So this had to take quite a bit of planning to get to the point to even be able to apply for this. So we are waiting on feedback about the application, but we probably won't hear anything until the fall. But again, these are some strategic moves that we think will open up additional opportunities for our communities. And so we're really proud of this. And if you have any questions about any of that, please let us know. The only other highlight I really wanted to point out tonight was another year-long process. It was becoming a C3 organization. We transitioned from a C4 to a C3, believing that there will be a lot of additional opportunities for us and for our partners to grow sustainably and to try to maybe reach out and try to get some of these community enhancement grants and funding to support our efforts. So we're very excited about some of the strategic moves that we've made over the last several years. And it's finally, we're coming to a point of where we're everything's off of our plate and we just have to sit and wait. So I'm happy to answer any additional questions or if anybody has anything for me. Yes.
Nancy, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. As we look at our order tonight, the consent agenda, we have no items under this item. Under our second reading, we have bill number 3738, but on behalf of the developer, he asked that this be tabled, but there's no objection from the board tonight. Okay, not seeing any, then we'll go on to our first reading with our new bills. And the first one we have is bill number 3739.
Your Honor, I move that we place Bill 3739 on first reading by title only.
Second.
Okay, the motion is that we place Bill 3739 on its first reading by title only. This was made by Alderman Aiken, the same with Alderman Metcalf. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss Bill 3739, do so by show of hands. And it does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to accept and enter into a program agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for the Finley River Trail Expansion Project.
Okay, we'd like to welcome now our Public Works Director, Jeremy Parson.
Yes, good evening, everyone. To kind of piggyback off of what Kristen just said, we're encouraging people to explore, not maybe the same type of bikers, but different cyclists. How about that? There's no new information here tonight. What we'll be covering are projects that we brought to you in the past that we have presented, and we've done the engineering work, but I want to bring you up to speed. And then we also need to programmatically, we need to move forward with the program agreements, these agreements with MoDOT and the OTO in order to see these through construction. So if I can get things moving here, I don't know why sometimes, there we go. So the first one we want to talk to you about tonight is a major connection that we've been excited about, right starting from the OC. Currently that trail ends kind of down by the pavilion area there. Our goal, and if I go back to connectivity, our goal is to make a connection along the north side of the Finley River that ties all the way into Nixa eventually, but also ties into the OTC campus. So this would be phase one of that project. The area in the green is what we're designating phase one. Phase two would get us a little bit further to the west. But again, it's all about making destinations. It's about an experience economy, and it's about getting people to enjoy the beautiful outdoors that we have. And this is a beautiful trail along the Finley River and a continuation of one that we see utilized very often. It's an 80-20, just like the rest. So we're looking at about $1.1 million of that, 80%, almost $900,000 will be paid for. This is the schedule. As you can see, we're right on the heels of them making that funding available. That was just last week. We would then move on to plans and get everything approved, and then hopefully do a bid opening in around August. And then hopefully by September, October, we can get in and really get a notice to proceed going. So again, this is just an update on this project, program agreement. We have the design pretty much solidified and the funding is in place. When we first went out for this for engineering, that's all they had was engineering money. But now that this project is essentially shovel ready, we got the directive from the board to go after it. And this money has been budgeted and allocated in the 2026 budget. So.
Okay, questions? I want clarification. I mean, I know you're saying it's next to the Finley River. So like the current OC trail behind the OC is right by the river. So basically it's gonna be that same type of concept.
A little bit further to the north because of the flooding concerns. If you can kind of see that green line there.
Yeah.
There's some existing soft surface trails through there, but we're trying to get it a little bit further away from the riverbank because that's kind of volatile and it's always, changing shapes on us.
Yeah, and flooding.
Yeah, that's why it changes.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So does this, it looks like it heads north and goes up by the family church. Is that right?
Eventually in phase two, it will. If you go back to the previous slide, which is a little harder to see, I don't know why this, it would actually tie in all the way over to OTC. And let me see if I can. So if you follow this up to OTC here, but for the time being, you have to have a logical termini, and that's why we ended it at 22nd. Phase one will actually have what we call a pedestrian cul-de-sac, and it'll be right there under the bridge, and then we'll pick that up and go from there.
I was I hear so many people when they make improvements and they have to put a sidewalk in and there are no sidewalks leading to it and no sidewalks leading away, and they just think it's ridiculous, which I heard from people in that church. And now there are the plans where it will be connected and part of the connectivity. That's
It's
great.
Connectivity and ungapping the map is what we're going after here.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. I'm not seeing, thank you. Anyone here tonight who wishes to speak regarding Bill 3739 from the public? This is your time. Okay. I am not seeing any movement. Therefore, Bill 3739 will be held over for a future meeting. Now let's draw attention to Bill number 3740.
I'd make a motion that we place Bill 3740 on first reading by title only.
Second.
Okay. The motion is we place Bill 3740 on its first reading by title only. That was made by Alderman Aiken. It was seconded by Alderman Metcalf. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss Bill 3740, do so by show of hands. And it does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, authorizing the mayor to accept and enter into a program agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for the Jackson Street Connector Project.
And we'll welcome back again, Jeremy Parson.
Yes, this is another good segue into ungapping the map. Currently in the commercial subdivision, oops, if we go back to that other, you had it on the right side. I got it. Sorry. This is another opportunity to ungap the map. You know the businesses in the commercial subdivision there to the north. You also see the OIC to the south, as well as the OC to the south and east. That sidewalk currently ends about well, shoot. It was working when we used this fancy button earlier. Am I doing something? Anyways, it currently ends about the location of the Mexican Villa El Taco. And it follows the curb line there. What we're looking at going from there is following that further to the east. And because of the topography, if you all are familiar with that area, it is steep. So we're gonna have to follow the curb line. And then once we get past that major hillside there where you see the red line kind of start zigzagging, the purpose for that is so that it can be ADA compliant. I even added a profile on the bottom there. You can see the elevation change that we've got going across this property. But as soon as we can get away from the road, we'll start getting some separation. It's just very difficult to get that separation on that hillside, but as soon as we've got the land to get away, we'll get away, and then we'll meander down to the first phase of the Chadwick Flyer. And again, this is another one of those sections that when people built these sidewalks up in this commercial subdivision, they said, where's it going to? Well, now it's going somewhere. So this one is a little less on the total funding. We're getting about $254,000 from the feds, and then about a $64,000 match on local. This has been budgeted in the 2026 budget as well. It would include all your typical construction and also construction admin for this. And I will note this, we are going to try to dovetail these two projects together. Hopefully put them out to bid around the same time. That's why we put the program agreements at the same time. I feel like if we do this, in the past, we've gotten much more competitive bids because the larger bid packet you put out there, the more quantities you get, and usually the better prices. So we will work hard on getting those. As you can see, the funding date's the same, but they pushed out the construction contract award a little bit. So we'll work with our partners to get that tied up and hopefully, like I said, dovetail those together. But any questions on this one?
Yes, Ms. Snyder.
Yeah, Jeremy, you mentioned ADA compliant, and I really like that. However, will there be any lighting along these trails?
So the lighting work that we did on Long Jackson Street ties in with the existing lighting And that the photometric study that we had done along there, that will suffice for the lighting along Jackson. As you go down into the phase one, there is some lighting there. In this package, we do not have a separate Shepherd's Hook light, but we've got the lighting in the underpass as well as the lighting on the street.
But there will not be any lighting actually on the trail itself, is that correct?
On the trail itself, yes, along the roadway. When it starts making grade or going down there, but we can certainly look at that. The photometrics show that it's not really needed along through there, but if it's dark in there, I think we've got an opportunity to do some placemaking with this too. If we get the bids back that we're hopeful for, we could add that into. We do have the conduit in place over there. So that's something we can definitely look into.
Okay, appreciate it.
Okay. Anyone else from the board? Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
Again, is anyone here tonight who speak regarding bill number 3740? This is your time to come to the mic, please. Okay. I'm not seeing any movement. Therefore, bill 3740 will be held over to future meeting. Now let's draw attention to bill number 3741.
Okay, Your Honor, I move that we place Bill 3741 on first reading by title only.
Second.
Okay. The motion is to place bill number 3741 on its first reading by title only. That was made by Alderman Aiken, second by Alderman Metcalf. All in favor of voting on the motion to discuss bill 3741, do so by show of hands. And that does carry.
An ordinance of the City of Ozark, Missouri, authorizing the city to enter into a cost apportionment agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for improvements to Highway 14 between East 6th Avenue and East 14th Avenue.
And we'll welcome back one more time, Director Parson.
So I was looking back in my records. We actually had a public meeting last summer about this at the Christian County Ambulance Department. So it's been a little while since then. So I want to kind of bring you up to speed and give you a little update. So this has been on our state transportation improvement plan for some time now. If you look at, let's see if, oh, what am I doing wrong, Maria? I'm holding the button. I'm just holding. Okay, there we go. If you look here.
We're looking, Jeremy, we're looking.
That is where the last roadway improvements kind of came to a conclusion there. That is right in the front of Sam's Cafe and Apple Market there. This is that next phase, taking it further to the east. As Christian County continues to develop and the rate of development that we're seeing, especially in eastern Christian County, which I'm sure Kristen could speak to that, this has been something that they wanted to get on the books for a while. I want to explain how this gets on the books, because this is not just we're throwing a dart at a board and we've got money to spend, so let's spend it here. We have a very stringent criteria that we must follow, and all of these factors go into the scoring. So when we're working with OTO and we're making recommendations to the executive board, they're looking at things like volume to capacity ratios, safety, congestion management, but not just for today. When we're looking at it, we're extrapolating that data with the rate of growth, and we're saying, okay, we're going to make this improvement. We better make X, Y, and Z improvements as well. Otherwise, we'll be back here in 5 years doing it again. So that goes into it. On this one, the multimodal, this is really how we got involved. And I see Ray back there. Hey, Ray. Ray Cook is with MoDOT. He is the project manager on this. So he can speak much more intelligently when it comes to the criteria, but I just wanted you to know that this is what goes into the overall scoring. And this one is high. This is primarily due to the volume, the safety, congestion management, and the travel times. We jumped on board with the multimodal because this project, as you all know, has been on MoDOT's books for quite a while. We know that they're going to come in here, and we know that they've got a design in place. We took it as our opportunity to come to the table with this apportionment agreement, which is similar to a cost share. But we are saying, hey, let us be a partner on the sidewalks. And the sidewalks currently end about right there in front of Sands Cafe. Let me see if I can get that back up there. They end right there. So the idea is to carry those to the east on both sides. And you can see them drawn in right through here with safe pedestrian crosswalks as well as all the appropriate signalization. But those will be carried all the way through the project. If I just click through, we're heading eastbound here. A lot of the problems that we see in this area is people making a left-hand movement going into these neighborhoods. Once somebody gets, stopped in that movement, the traffic begins to back up. So this is your typical 5-lane section that also has a center turn lane. As you move to the east, you will see that that center or the right-hand turn lane falls off into 14th Avenue. The plan is for the next phase right now on the STIP actually takes this from 14th Avenue, right here is Dollar General, all the way to W, which we see a lot of congestion out there as well. But I wanted to show you that, all these factors go into play. And we do have, Ray, if you want to say anything or come up here, you made the drive.
Oh, this question is.
No, Gene, sorry, this is not your time.
Anything you wanted to add to that as the project manager?
Yeah, we were actually very excited whenever Ozark approached us and asked about a cost share to be able to add the sidewalk. To begin with, we were just doing a berm so that if somebody decided to add sidewalk later, it wouldn't take a lot of money to add it.
Any questions for him? Alderman Snyder is first, and then.
What happens if we do not participate in the cost share with the sidewalks?
Then we redesigned the roadway to still be a 5-lane road. We built the curb and gutter, and we have the berm, which is just earth, that'll be out. That'll take care of if somebody ever does in the future decide to put a sidewalk in. They won't have to do a lot of earthwork, and we don't have to redo the hydraulics.
Okay. And the reason I ask that, we've had a lot of discussion about this, you and I specifically, with the concerns of the neighbors. I actually live over there as well, but I also understand we have to have good traffic flow. I do understand that. With respect to the design of this roadway, why not a 3-lane road with a dedicated turn and sidewalks on either side? I am really just curious about that because 4 lanes to me, and that's what it looks like. Anytime you open up something that has been contained, people with lead feet are in a hurry. They have a tendency to get in a hurry. That's from my experience as a law enforcement officer. I've seen that. So why did we not consider just a 3-lane dedicated turn with sidewalks in either way? And it's a good question. I'd like to get an answer to that right now. Please.
Okay. Part of it has to do with the OTO.
Okay.
With all their priority is prioritized for a 5-lane section because of going all the way out to Route W. This was the amount of funding that we were able to secure, so we went as far as we could.
Okay.
That's what the phase 1 is. Then phase 2 will be in the future, and it will go out to W. The best reason for not just doing a 3-lane is that with just the 3-lane, we would have kept the open drainage, would have been tougher to put in sidewalk. And then if Ozark would have approached and said, hey, we'd like to put sidewalk on this, then you end up destroying improvements that you put in just now.
Okay. And with that being said, like I said, I still have concerns about speed because I think speed is going to be a factor through there. Anytime, you open the floodgates, are there going to be mitigation items put in there to help with the speed? These are questions that I've been asked. That's why I'm asking you right now. What type of traffic mitigation and speed devices are we going to have installed through there?
We'll have our normal signals at 6th Avenue. And we're also putting the roadway on what's called a road diet.
Okay.
And what it's going to be is 11-foot lanes instead of 65 12-foot lanes. And the center turn lane will still say a 13-foot turn lane instead of a 14-foot.
Okay.
And I know the officer in the corner that has been keeping me company all evening. He'll be happy that we've noticed, even with Glenstone and Springfield, it recently had a road diet. It was not installed correctly, but it still has had the same effect. That
Okay.
It has brought down the excess speed.
Okay, and I appreciate that, and I do think that will be beneficial. My final question that I have for this, if I may, right there next to Dollar General, okay, there is a cemetery. Is that cemetery going to be impacted by any way? Because I know that there are headstones near that fence line. Is that cemetery going to be impacted at all by this construction project?
It will not be impacted by this construction project or any utility, because we are keeping the existing 6-foot utility corridor. We're not impinging on it whatsoever. We are going to be putting a retaining wall on the back side of the sidewalk. And that way we don't have to tell a utility to move even an inch. So we do not have to touch that cemetery at all.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, Alderman Hutchinson.
Just I wanted to double check. It looked like the sidewalk is on the south side.
There's sidewalk on the north side and south side.
Oh, both sides. Great. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Yes, Metcalf.
So what is the current speed limit? It's not changing, right? Is it, what, do you know what the current speed limit on that road is? And it's not going to change due to this, is it?
If I remember correctly, it's 35 right now. And we do not have plans on changing it whatsoever.
Because, I know, I'll be up here. 45, and then as it shrinks down into the South Street area by the sands, I think it was down to 40. Is that correct?
35.
35.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that was my concern is, we're coming from a 45 because it's 55 to 45 coming from Sparta toward at W, it turns into 45 right there by the electric co-op. And then it's 45 in, but it shrinks down to 35 once we get up by Murphy's. And that's my biggest concern because we know people tend to do just a few more than that, when they're coming in, and they try to be vigilant with their speed, but we do have folks that get into a hurry. I know you find that hard to believe. People get in a hurry going to work in the morning, and those speeds tend to increase, which causes traffic tie-ups as, they can result in a crash and things of that nature. So not to run on what Jim was saying right here, but, the speed is a concern that I have through there.
Okay, anyone else from the board? Yes, ma'am.
This is an off-topic question, but talking about speed limits. So it's 45 on most of the 5-lane South Street. Jackson is 35 and it's a 5-lane. What's the difference? Why the difference in speed limits?
Most time we set speed limits by what's called a speed study. It takes the 85th percentile as a starting spot. So 85% of the people will be driving a certain speed. And we say that's what everybody considers safe. Then there is deductions, and I can't remember which manual it's in, but it has deductions for a number of entrances per mile.
Yeah.
And the number of crashes per mile. And you can bring it down by 5% on each thing that hits.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for inviting me.
Okay,
Yeah, so all in on this project, it's pretty amazing, really. The project comes in at over $7 million. By the time we put in our cost share, I think I went one too far. We're in for about $110,000. Now, please notice that we are also using TAP and STBG. But at the end of the day, we're getting a project. We're basically piggybacking off this project, and we're getting 5,600 linear feet of sidewalks on both sides. So the connectivity there and the future connectivity to the trail system, this is another big opportunity to ungap it. So.
okay, I think we're good. I'm not seeing anyone. Appreciate your time. Okay, At this time, I'm going to open to the public. Anyone here who wishes to speak regarding bill number 3741? This is your time to come to the mic, please.
Jeannie McFall, 1324 East Warren Avenue. I deal with the 6th Avenue and South Street now with people being cut off at the light. They slow down for the light, so I don't see that as being a problem. But when they get cut off and there's no light and they're able to be going 35 to 45 miles an hour, somebody's going to end up in the ditch there at 14th Avenue. So that's just a question I have. The other thing is, on the eastbound, will there be a left-hand turn so people can get their kids to school? I didn't notice that on the map. It just sort of quit. So will those people have to be stop to turn left?
Okay, repeat your question one more time, please.
And then some other questions I do have. The project on South Street that's already been completed, I've been to MoDOT, asked why the sidewalks buckled and no repair's been done, why the curbs have disintegrated, nothing's been done. And the pavement, when it was completed there on South Street, just west of 3rd Street, the quality was not there. And then one more question, at 14th Avenue, will we have a push button crosswalk to get across South Street to be able to go from one side of the sidewalk to the other sidewalk on the north side?
Is that something we can look at later and address?
Perhaps, Jeannie, you would be willing to leave your questions with Jeremy, if you could do that, and then we could follow up.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else from the public who wish to speak regarding bill 3741? Okay, therefore, bill number 3741 be held to a future meeting. There's no resolutions tonight. At this time, we'll come to our city administrator, Eric Johnson, for a report.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry, we were chatting over here. I was being disrupted by one of our board members. Do you want to come to breakfast on Wednesday morning?
No.
I know you're all very busy, but I wanted to let you know or remind you that this Wednesday morning from 7 o'clock until 9 o'clock, we're having an employee appreciation breakfast at the OC. This is a way that we say thank you to our employees for all the hard work that they do and to do a little team building. So 7 to 9, show up if you can. The management team will be cooking and the other employees will be eating. That's the plan anyway. And that's all I had to report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any final comments from the board tonight? Yes, sir.
I'd just like to extend my thanks to Chief Arnold and his crew for picking up, after a tragedy. You did exceptionally well, taking care of our brothers in Brown, and that's just the way I see it. But thank you very much, and give that to the rest of the officers out there. This past week was very tough on everyone. Those of us that have served, we know what it's like. It still hurts, when we see, a death and then see 2 more brothers be wounded. It really hurts, but the community came together. I was not able to be here. I was actually out of state, but I kept tabs on what was going on. And I'll tell you, it hurt. And it's just a true testament to this community to stand strong and support what goes on here. And I thank everyone in this community for that, because it hurts and it's going to hurt for a while. But thank you very much.
Thank you. And I concur with those statements. I mean, our officers were hurting and they still worked because they said, we have a job to do and we got to protect the people. And I was so impressed with what they did this past week, and every one of them, because they all had to step up, and we do. We have the best police department there is. And I'm very thankful for our leadership we have of our chief. Okay. Well, if no one else, motion that we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Okay, motion for adjournment was made by Alderman Snyder, second by Alderman Hutchinson. All in favor of voting on the motion for adjournment, do so by show of hands. And it does carry, and we are adjourned.